What's up? Thanks so much for hanging out. I can say firsthand that there's nothing more sad and unproductive than being trapped in the past, dwelling endlessly on what could have been. Perhaps I should have, or no, on the other hand, I think I should have, or maybe... Stop. It doesn't matter. We're all aware of the fact that we lack the ability to change the past, yet for some reason we still allow the nature of our present moment to be dictated by the past. I mean, to some degree, this is a fundamental aspect of the human experience. Past experiences act as invaluable resources to help us craft the way we go about living our lives. This is normal. However, it's when we become completely consumed by a past experience that it has the ability to prevent us from progressing in a linear fashion and reaching our full potential.
Into the flame, into the fire, with no regard for a thing but that I'm the lord of the game. I rule this empire. I am the god of hell.
I'm going to share a story with you about two urban monks who were on an epic journey. The two urban monks went by the name of Water and Fire. While on said epic journey, the two urban monks came across a ferociously busy intersection. Cars just flying by at ridiculous speeds, honking horns, no regard for pedestrians. Only the most agile of individuals would be able to cross this street without meeting their maker. So no problem for our two well-balanced urban monks, right? On the corner of said intersection stood a beautiful woman, completely dolled up from head to toe, absolutely immaculate. We're talking about one of those real classy ladies with the 6-inch heels. Classy bride! Anyways, it was quite clear that this elegant young lady required assistance crossing the street. However, to engage this woman in any way, shape, or form would be in direct violation of the urban monk code of conduct. With that being said, our friend Fire moved past the woman with little to no concern and swiftly crossed the street. Water, on the other hand, approached the woman, extended his hand, and raised her into his arms. He transported her across the street seamlessly, placed her down on the other side, and continued on his merry way. The monks continued their journey for many city blocks thereafter. Eventually, Fire could no longer hold his tongue as frustration was just building up immensely. He was just bubbling on the inside, and he roared furiously, "How could you engage that woman? You know that it is against the rules and it's against the code of conduct to engage her in any way. How could you do that?" Pretty salty. And it was at that point that Water simply turned to Fire and said, "Yes, I helped her, and I left her on the other side of the street. But it would appear that you, my friend, are still carrying her." So yeah, the moral of the story is pretty straightforward. Carrying burdens from the past inhibits you, and coincidentally, only you. That's not to say that you should try and completely absolve yourself of your past experiences. Past experiences should never be viewed with regret, but instead as invaluable learning devices. Go ahead, embrace them, but just don't let them consume you. A personal philosophy of mine is that there is no such thing as a failed relationship. Every relationship of every ilk that I've ever engaged in, regardless of how the relationship concluded, holds some sort of significant value to me. There's always a lesson to be learned, and everyone has something to steal. I mean teach. Same thing. Perhaps a relationship ends in a non-desirable scenario, but provides me with an invaluable insight on my communication skills. Or maybe it provided me a little bit of insight on some of my non-desirable character traits. The lesson can literally be anything, but the key is to open yourself up to the possibility of accepting said lesson. This, of course, requires you to move past the initial shock of the relationship coming to a conclusion or whatever. But yeah, it's well worth it.
When they tell you you must take it,
You think I'm low?
get that feeling and can shake it.
It's so low.
Number 1, focus on the present. The here and now, baby. Although the past cannot be altered or changed, it does not definitively determine who or what you are in the present moment. Remember this, and never underestimate the power of taking action immediately in the present moment. Making a point to do things with purpose and intent will coincidentally prevent potentially regretful things from happening in the first place, right? Actively practice the art of acceptance. How do you practice the art of acceptance, Trey? Fantastic question. To achieve this, we can open ourselves up about the things that plague us in the past. We can also let go of a victim mentality, and we can forgive all participating parties, including ourselves. And finally, embrace the future. Think about all of the wonderful possibilities that lie in front of you, especially now that you've got this new badass mindset that you could have only acquired through your personal experiences and hardships. So yeah, that concludes our discussion on letting go of the past. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to share your personal experiences or insight in the comment section below, and have a beautiful day.
I'm giving up on trying to sell you